This video is going to explain some of those reasons that people chose to move to the West, because if we think about the Great Plains, when we did our reading, it did not sound like a very nice place to live. And so there are going to be some really big factors that are going to influence people to move west. The first big reason has to do with what it was like in the East. As thousands of new immigrants came to the United States in the late 1800s and early 1900s, they got squeezed into these cities that quickly became overcrowded, like we can see in this painting. So that's one of the reasons people are just trying to leave the East and they end up going out west. You guys read about that transcontinental railroad, and with the completion of that railroad, it goes from taking almost 6 months to get out west to only taking a week. And so as you can imagine, a lot more people are going to be willing to move out west if they know that they can get back home or visit their family and friends on a regular basis. Another major reason people are moving out west has to do with the land that's available. The 1862 Homestead Act law basically gave away free land to anyone who was 21 years old and lived on land for at least 5 years and improved it, so they made it into a farm. And as you can see from this graph, millions of people took advantage of that, and you can see in each state, almost 150,000 people in Montana created homesteads, 100,000 in Colorado, almost 100,000 in Oklahoma. So all of these people are getting almost free land. The next reason has to do with how people saw the West. There were a lot of different things that showed the West as being like one gigantic fun adventure. So this picture shows some of the performers in Buffalo Bill's Wild West show, which was a sort of a performance that traveled all over the country and all over the world. These are Native American Sioux dancers that were exhibited in this show. And so people saw that and were like, wow, that seems exciting. I want to visit there. There are also things like what you see in this picture. This is the Wild Bunch, which was a train robbing gang, and they were famous all over the country for some of their exploits. And according to legend, this photograph, they took it and they dressed up for this after they robbed a bank for more than $30,000. And they sent copies of this picture to the bank and to some detectives as a joke. And so they became famous for being this cool, exciting gang. And so people began to see how much adventure and fun they could have out west. In 1849, gold was discovered in California, and so you have all of these people who rushed out to California to mine for gold. We call them the 49ers, which is where the name for the San Francisco football team comes from. And they rushed out to try and get gold. There was also gold found in Alaska. Other minerals like silver, copper, all of these mines were going on at the time. So we call this a rush for mineral wealth, for all of these different things that people could find in the ground. Our last reason has to do with African Americans, and so if we think back to after the Civil War, we have the system of segregation and discrimination taking place in the South. So thousands of African Americans are choosing to move out west where they know they'll have equal opportunities because they don't have those same Jim Crow laws. They don't have those same systems of inequality.